What's up, guys? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, please smash that like button on the video and enjoy the show.
You want to know who some of the most quote-unquote racist from an external view people in the world are? Soldiers. You put a black soldier, a Hispanic soldier, an Italian soldier, all these people in the American military together, they don't have anything to talk about other than racist jokes. Right?
I saw where you were going with that.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the through line of their conversation.
Yes.
Is they will say something like, make him do it because that's all his people do is they just carry shit around. Right? And he'll be laughing and be like, oh, shut the fuck up, you're what, and they'll just go back and forth about it. And it's endearing because they're actually friends.
Yes. I'm going to be alive on this earth at a point where there is not some form of serious conflict that involves people on the ground against other people on the ground in some way hurting each other.
Well, not only is that true, I would take it even 2 steps further, which is the reason why military recruiting numbers are down so much is because there's a bunch of guys who understand reality and they realize that leadership is trying to optimize for something else. So when you get into all the DEI stuff, when you get into all the transgender stuff, when you get into this thought process that certain people or genders, etc., are going to be able to go and fight at the same degree that American males, 18 to 25 years old, are, right?
Stupid.
When you see it, and look, it's always in my experience in dealing with this stuff, it starts with somebody who has good intentions. But damn, there's a lot of good intentions that lead us to bad places, right? So it's never somebody who's like, I'm going to figure out a way to eat the American military from inside. That's not what's happening, right? They're trying to do the right things. It's just you make one bad decision that's compounded by another bad decision, it's compounded by another bad, and the next thing you know, you're 10 years later, you're like, holy shit, how do we get here?
Yeah, we're kind of at a point in society where, again, you talk about intention. Great point. We want to be in a place where we don't hate on other people. Totally agree. But we've taken that to such a point that we'll celebrate things that you don't need to celebrate, so to speak. Meaning they'll get injected into things like our military, where suddenly we're worried about quotas with, like you said, how many transgender soldiers do we have? Listen, if someone's transgender, I love them. That's great. I'm not concerned about whether or not they have representation in the military. And actually, it's somewhere where you may go and get shot and killed, so I don't feel bad telling you that you might not have the best representation there.
These are first world problems.
Yes.
And it always cracks me up because whenever I hear people talking about, some of these topics, it's always like, you haven't spent time around blue collar industries, blue collar people, or the military.
Guys, if you'd like to join our Patreon by hitting the link in the description below, not only does it support our show and allow us to get great guests like this and put out more content, but you're going to get exclusive access to the Julian and Alessi show, which is the show we post only on Patreon. That's with my producer, Alessi Alaman, and I, as well as some behind-the-scenes content and some extra content with guests. So hit that link in the description below, and I hope to see you over there.
You want to know who some of the most quote-unquote racist from an external view people in the world are? Soldiers. You put a black soldier, a Hispanic soldier, an Italian soldier, all these people in the American military together, they don't have anything to talk about other than racist jokes. Right?
I saw where you were going with that.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the through line of their conversation, right? Is they will say something like, make him do it, because that's all his people do is they just carry shit around. Right? And he'll be laughing and be like, oh, shut the fuck up, you're what, and they'll just go back and forth about it. And it's endearing because they're actually friends.
Yes.
Right? And if you go onto a construction site, if you go to these areas, right, people who have respect for each other are actually building deep bonds. And again, I'm not talking about racism where one person is saying something and the other person feels offended, etc. There's no offense being taken here, right? And so when you look at that, you say to yourself, wait a second, that is just a reality. Whether we like it or not, that is how these groups of people operate together. So when you have the quote unquote coastal elites who sit and say, well, you guys can't talk like that.
Oh God.
You know what these guys do? Their human nature. Fuck you.
Yeah, we had Dale Comstock sitting right there saying that.
Right, literally. That is their reaction. How are you going to tell me how I can talk to these guys? Right?
That's right.
Because guess what? When the bullets fly, Guess what I need to know? I don't give a shit what the color of the guy next to me is. I need to know that he's not going to put his gun down and run away.
That's right.
Right. And those are like the realities on the ground versus kind of this top down perspective. And so I don't know what the right answer is. Right. Yeah, we would love to all wave a magic wand and be able to achieve all of the objectives that these, kind of coastal elites have and also keep the reality on the ground. It's just you can't do both. It's a trade-off. Life is full of trade-offs. And so I do go back to this idea of like, what is the point of the U.S. military? The point of the U.S. military is to defend this country and at a moment's notice go anywhere at any time and execute immense amount of violence on our behalf. That is what the point of the military is. The point of the military is not to fucking check boxes on, different things, etc. So if you go and you talk to soldiers on the ground, they don't give a shit. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what language you spoke. I don't care your education, your wealth, any of that shit. Can you fucking shoot straight? When we go in this house, if I go right, are you going to go left? Right? When you pull that gun up as you go left and you're presented with two targets and one's got a gun and one doesn't, are you smart enough to not shoot the innocent person? Right? When I get shot, are you going to be able to carry my ass out of here so I don't die? That's the shit that they care about.
Yes.
Right? And there's stories that I wish more people would tell. And I know we're going to talk about some business stuff, but like one of the ideas that I would love to see come to fruition, and if there's somebody out there that wants to do this, I would love to talk with them and figure out how to make it a reality, is I would love to see a movie production studio get built that only tells these stories of patriotism to help inspire an entire new generation of Americans to understand what America stands for, why it is important, and what many men in combat arms have done in order to preserve it.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.